New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.
What's going on? This is Ellis for the TheKOTShow. Here, give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And it's time to celebrate, man. The Knicks are doing their thing. They're looking like a competent team. They're winning some games. They lose some games. But most importantly, we are in these games. And it seems like the Knicks are playing with the right enthusiasm and the right habits. So shout out to Tom Thibodeau and these New York Knicks. But before we get into these topics, we gotta introduce the peoples. You know how we do on this show. First and foremost, we have Mr. Reliable, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G's in the building.
Damn right he's in this building, all right? Now, we also have joining us special guest. My guy doing his own thing on YouTube. We talking behind the scenes. He was just like, I just grabbed the camera, man. I just started going. I didn't expect it to blow up this big, but guess what? It's starting to blow up. My other man, he dropping some facts for sure. Some great insight on his YouTube channel. My guy, Raw Hebrew Remnant. What's going on, Raw?
What's up, Jay Ellis? What's up, Ryan? Glad to be here with you.
Exactly. Glad to have you, man. Glad to have you in your perspective. Yeah, so let's get to it. So Julius Randle has been the hot topic so far, right? I don't know if you watched us on Knicks Fan TV, but we talked about Julius Randle up and down for like 20 minutes straight, okay? So he has been going on a tear. Even if he's playing bad, he's almost averaging triple doubles, like even on his bad games, which is something to be said, right?
Yeah.
So far this year, he's averaging 21 points a game on 49% shooting, 50% from three, which is 14th in the league, 10.5 rebounds, which is 13th in the league, 7.2 assists, which is 8th in the league, and the 4.5 turnovers, which we're not gonna we want to try to forget. But overall, Julius Randle is balling. It seems like he's turned over the new leaf. He's passing more than we've ever seen him do. But the thing is with Julius Randle, people don't seem to really believe it. Some people do, but some people don't. Some people feel like this is only a flash in the pan. They're so scorned for what happened last year. They just think it's a fluke and it's just all going to disappear. So we gotta dive in and figure out what's sustainable and what's not. So Raw, let me just ask you straight off the bat: do you feel like Julius Randle can maintain this pace that he's been playing at over these first few games?
Yes, he can. The difference last year, of course, he was taking directions from David Fizdale. So he was being asked to do things that he was never asked to do before. So when you look at Julius Randle in high school, if you look at his high school tape, like most guys in his position, he was bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic than his peers. So he was basically getting by with that. He came into Kentucky, did the same thing. When he got to LA with the Lakers, we know he broke his leg his first year. And so then he comes back his second year and he's trying to do the same thing. He never got developed properly, and the Lakers just let him walk. He ends up in New Orleans, where he happened to play the third fiddle. And that's when he flourished as a third fiddle.
Yeah.
So now here comes Steve Mills with his checkbook open, and he's saying, he could be number one option on our team. Of course, Julius ain't stupid. 63 million is 63 million. He's going to take that coming off a $9 million contract with New Orleans. So he comes in. David Fizdale is telling him, I want to run the offense through you. He never bothered to coach him up, never bothered to teach him about what that means. And we saw what happened last year. I didn't know. It was a wild card as to, is Julius Randle going to take this off season and decide still the man, because ego gets in the way sometimes. If you're not going to make me the man, trade me, right? Or is he going to say, I want to become a better basketball player? I want to become the best NBA player that I can, which is apparently the decision that he made. Because what we're seeing now, the difference is, even though he's doing 4 turnovers a game, and y'all know this, I think you can agree. If you don't, just let me know, it's okay. But what I'm seeing this year is, last year, the turnovers was as a result of, I'm throwing the ball away at the last minute because I'm about to stumble into a turnover.
Yes.
I got 3 guys guard me and I'm trying to score over them. Whereas this year, I'm trying to find the open man and sometimes I miss.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference. So that's why I'm not looking at the turnovers this year the way I did last year, because he is actually looking to make just like Thibodeau told me, he's looking to make a play. If the play is a pass, he's making the pass. If it's a play for him to go, he's going. And so I believe it's sustainable because he is, you let him, especially if he gets named to the All-Star team, that's going to be incentive for him to continue doing what he's doing. And if he's not named to the All-Star team, which he should be, it's going to be incentive to him to prove to everybody this is real. So I think it's sustainable.
Let's pause for a second. This episode was brought to you by Manscaped. All right, fellas, Valentine's Day is on the way. You want to make sure down there is clean, fair, and square. Manscaped Trimmer 2.0. It does not nick your knickers. It doesn't grab your hairs. It has an LED light so you can see what's going on down there. It's waterproof and is guaranteed to make your lady happy. All right, so definitely pick up the Trimmer 2.0. And also my personal recommendation, and Ryan backs me up, the ball deodorant.
Exactly. I've been using the ball deodorant since even before this whole sponsorship. I've been using the ball deodorant. It works great. It works well. The ladies, if that moment comes, the ladies go down there and they're satisfied. It smells nice and good. So go get you some.
Go get you some. All right. Yeah. Man, go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code KOT. All right. That is 20% off and free shipping with code KOT if you go to manscaped.com. And you know what? If you trim down there, send all before and after pictures to Ryan's Gmail account at Ryan. Okay,
No.
All right, never mind. KOT. That is the code. Manscaped.
Exactly.
I agree with you, man. I feel like if the Knicks have a winning record, he's looking like he might be an all-star team for sure. Ryan, anything to add to that? Because this is a topic I'm dying to jump into. Go ahead.
All right. Well, the only thing I'm going to say is that is his 3-point shooting going to be sustainable? No, he's not going to shoot 50% from 3 for the whole season. There's going to be a drop off there. But I think the points per game, the rebounds per game is definitely going to be there. And I think that's because he has shown this season that he's taking smarter shots. Last season, he definitely forced the issue a lot of times. He just drove into the lane. We all know the famous spin move in the lane, and it just ends up being turnovers and things like that. So he's definitely taking smarter shots this year. He's definitely looking for shooters. I mean, the fact that his assist total is so high is because the Knicks are actually making shots, which last season Knicks weren't making as many shots as they are now. And I think that, and then on top of that, he has a coach, coach in Thibodeau, that's going to actually hold him accountable as well. So I feel like if there's any drop off to Randle's game as the season goes on, Thibodeau's going to hold him accountable and get him back on the right track. So I think when you put all those things together now, I feel like there's a high chance that Randle will continue to play the way he's playing at the moment.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I still remember when he was on the Pelicans and we just signed him and we was looking at his Pelicans numbers and he was averaging 24 points a game at 3.5 assists. And we was even looking at his 3-point percentage and it was around 35%.
Was it 35? I thought it was closer to 40 at that year.
40?
It wasn't 40. It was somewhere in the high 30s. Let me just look. I thought, yeah, because he was shooting it well in New Orleans.
He was shooting it well it was 30. He was shooting around 35%.
Okay.
Around 35. It was after the All-Star break too. Around 35% from 3, 7.6 rebounds, 3.5 assists. The defense is the only reason that really people were kind of saying, is he an all-star? I don't know. He still seems to be a negative player, even though even though he has all this offensive talent. We have Tom Thibodeau here now who's making him a defender. You saw what he did with Sabonis. He shut him down in the fourth quarter and pretty much damn near the whole game. Yeah. So I do agree with Ryan in the sense that the 3-point shooting might not be 50%.
It's not. He's not Stephen Curry. He's not going to shoot.
No.
Yeah. But I think he can get around 37 for the year. And if he does that, I think that's going to be a tremendous year for him.
Exactly. And even his assist percentage, I can see that staying around the same or maybe even going up a little bit depending on who's in the lineup with him.
That's right.
Because Reggie Bullock is shooting 32% from 3.
That's right.
And that's your starting shooting guard who got paid here to shoot. Right. And we also have Elfrid Payton. I'm not even going to talk about what Elfrid Payton shoots from 3. We're not even going to get into that.
Yeah, I think he did hit one last night, though.
He did. No, Elfrid Payton.
He did.
Yeah,
Elfrid Payton. Listen, I don't expect Elfrid Payton to consistently shoot 35-40% and up from 3. I don't expect that long term. I expect him to have a game or two. I do feel like Elfrid Payton is a gamer though.
Yeah.
Which is why you saw some of those games he has. Like that game where he beat up on Indiana. Look, Brogdon took his cookies that first game, and he remembered that. And I fully believe that's why Elfrid Payton went off on that game.
Yep. Remember now, Elfrid Payton, I think, is 20, what's he, 25, 26?
I feel like he's 26. I'll check that right now.
Yeah, we have to check his age.
Because he's another one that's coming into his prime that's not yet in his prime yet.
I feel like he's 26. The oldest player we have right now is Reggie Bullock.
He's 29, right? Yeah,
he's 29. So I know he's not 29.
Exactly.
But I mean, the whole point of that whole conversation is to say, I still fully believe that Tom Thibodeau can still tinker with this lineup. I said this before with Emmanuel Quickly. It was interesting to see the first game of the season. Emmanuel Quickly played more minutes than Elfrid Payton off the bench, and he had a bad hip. Like he hurt his hip, played through it, and that first half had more minutes than Elfrid Payton. So to me, the coach is already seeing something and practicing in the games to go. He trusts Emmanuel Quickly, so I fully believe that it might be a matter of time before Emmanuel Quickly fully takes over. Mm-hmm. And if that happens, and you have Quickly in the starting lineup who's a shooter, and maybe somebody else who takes over Bullock's spot. I'm not sure if Bullock is going anywhere though, because it just seems like Tom really likes him.
They can't trade Payton this year though.
They can't trate Payton this year. They can't trade him this year.
They're kind of going to probably ride him because they can't trade him, so they might ride with him. But it does. I think Thibodeau. This is a perfect team for him to coach because he likes to he keeps saying he lets performance dictate his rotation. And he lets practice dictate. So he's not committing to anything. If you notice in the media, he doesn't announce who's starting until the day of. He's keeping everybody on their toes, and he says all 15 guys are going to play. The way they play, I can see that. So I think the rotation will play itself out. I think he's going to let it play itself out, and he showed you last night, for example. When he took Bullock out, he puts Rivers in. He didn't put Quickly in. He put Rivers in. So he has trust still in those veterans, so I think that's his default. But we'll see what happens. I'm not worried about because I am so enthused with our roster. Whoever's out there is going to do the job. Whoever's out there is going to do the job. It's not going to be a situation where they got to play Tim Hardaway or they got to play Randle because he's just getting paid so much money. He's going to let performance dictate who he plays.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? We've been shorthanded for these first few games, which is why, the game versus the Cavs was so interesting because we pulled that off with only an 8-man rotation. That's right. And with the way the Cavs were playing, people were sleeping on the Cavs. He was like, oh, it's only the Cavs. No, the Cavs were balling.
Right.
The Cavs were 2-3. Go ahead. Go.
I'm saying they're 4-2.
Yeah, their defense, as you can see, because they gave us hell on the defense, was top notch. Drummond was giving people the business.
Yeah. Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Yeah, like the Cavs was not an easy win. And for us to pull that win off with just Julius, it just makes me think, man, when we have all of our horses back, we might be a problem. We might be a problem.
I'm telling you, man. And Alec Burke has been a revelation too.
I already said Alec Burke is the most underrated signing of the season anywhere. Period.
I was not expecting that. I remember he was a Nick killer when he was in Utah.
Yes.
But I didn't.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes the players are just Nick killers, right? They don't play like this. But this cat, man, he's balling, man. He's balling. Did y'all hear? Is he coming back tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's probable, right?
I don't think it was probable, yo. Oh yeah, it is probable. It's probable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's probable.
Okay, good.
I think it's probable.
What, man?
Or is it probable, or did it just get upgraded? I'm not sure.
I think he was questionable.
I can do a quick check. Let me say, I could do a quick check.
Yeah, because he was questionable for last night's game.
Okay.
But he might be upgraded to probable.
So, let's talk about these horses too, since while Ryan is looking. Because one horse that we got back in the midst of this is Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers, he impressed everyone with his first ever Knicks interview, right? He got all the Knicks players on their side. And then when he came back, he reignited that same feeling when he posted under the Knicks Twitter that, hey guys, we're working on things. I can see the things that's going on behind the scenes. We're changing gears. And then he gets in an interview and he tells the same thing. He's like, listen, man, this team is changing top to bottom. From Leon Rose, Worldwide West, to the strength and conditioning coach, to everybody in between. This place is changing. He seems like he has a veteran presence going for him already. How do you see him affecting his team? You already see it in these few games.
Yeah, he is going to be. Let's put it this way. We'll talk about the possible P word later. But I'm saying if we get to that, if we get to that point, he's going to be very important because he is a proven playoff piece. He did it in the Clippers. I'll be honest. When I first saw him at Duke, and then he got drafted by the Pelicans, I wasn't high on him. And I thought when he went to the Clippers, it was because his dad was there, which I still think he got paid because his dad was there. But
that's absolutely right.
Once he got there, though, he did perform. He did perform for them, and especially in the playoffs. And so I see him, and then in Houston, the same thing. So I see Austin Rivers I'm dating myself, but he is Dennis Johnson like. He's a money player. He's a money player. So when the money's on the line, he's gonna show up. That's why I call him Butter. He's Butter. When the money's on the line.
Yeah, the game is on the line. He's not scared of the moment.
No, he's going to show up. So that's why I see him being trusted by Thibodeau. The only issue, and that's why I was concerned with him playing Friday, because I thought they might be rushing him back, and I didn't want to get him hurt for the longer term of this season. So, but he's going to be an important piece. So, I don't know if he starts or he comes up. He's going to be at least a 24-minute a night guy, and then there's going to be some nights when he does start and play heavy minutes. He's a money guy. So when it comes to if we're knocking on the door at the end of the season, he's going to become a very important piece. So I can see him. I'm more concerned with him in that stage than just doing a regular season game. I don't want him to get hurt. I want him to, that's why I was concerned with his neck last night. I think he might miss tomorrow because just that concussion protocol, they might sit him. But I'm not concerned with him yet. He's the guy I want around at the end of the season. So he becomes a very important piece, a rotational piece. And I think we got to steal that 3-point for him.
We finessed.
Yeah.
I don't know what Leon Rose did. I've talked about Leon Rose is that he's an agent, so he's not going to overpay for guys. He knows exactly what people is worth. But man, did he finesse half of his team? How the hell do you get Austin Rivers for like 2 Snickers and a bag of ding dongs? And Alec Burks.
Yes, man.
Like what kind of we see what Brogdon is about. You see what Bogdanovich is going for. We see what Bertans is going for.
Oh, and Bertans coming off the bench for $80 million, man.
bro.
Yeah.
The bench for 80 million. Alec Burks is averaging 20. We paying this man $6 million.
Right.
What? What are we doing right now? Like, really?
Yeah. Oh man.
Second of the year. Off the man.
So you know Bogdanovich is coming off the bench for Atlanta. He's not starting either.
Like, man, like 3-point shooting is really becoming that important where you're just overpaying guys to be on the bench. That is crazy.
Not Leon.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Off the Austin topic. Go ahead, Ryan. Any thoughts on Austin Rivers and what he's going to bring to this team, man, and what you've seen already?
I mean, I'm just gonna really keep it simple. Austin Rivers, he's a solid player. You know, you bring him on the court, he makes the right play most of the time. He can penetrate, get to the basket, make plays. He's a decent 3-point shooter, and I feel like he just adds like a veteran presence for the Knicks in the backcourt. And I feel like he can be a very viable player for the Knicks as time goes on. He's already proven that he's already affecting the game in positive ways for the Knicks. And I just see him as a piece. Like, I feel like, and then also on top of that, I like the way that he addressed the fans as well on Instagram after the loss to the Raptors, I believe, because I feel like Knicks fans was going off about that loss. And he actually posted like a long post saying that, just, telling the fans, just hang in there. We're working on something special and this and that. So, I actually got, mad respect to him for that.
Yeah, it
as
felt
well,
like a New Year, New Knicks post,
Yeah,
it felt like one of those Instagram, like.
Exactly. But, but I mean, Austin Rivers, like, I'm not going to front. I was kind of iffy on the signing at first because I felt like, at least during like the early years when he was with the Clippers and the Rockets, I felt like he was one of those players where maybe like he needs to be on a good team to actually like showcase, what he can do. But seeing him on the Knicks, I'm like, that was actually a pretty good pickup. 3 years, 10 mil or something like that?
Yeah.
That's a small market thinking, Ryan. When you're small market thinking, and we got half of these Utah guys in this building right now. Yeah. Small market thinking is you find a guy on another team who's producing at a certain rate, and since he's not getting that attention, you bring him over here on the cheap, and you pay him accordingly, and then he's producing more than what he's been, producing over his pay grade. And we're doing that with a few guys. That's why we even got Julius Randle in the first place, because he was averaging 25 and 10 in the Pelicans under the radar over here to do the same thing. Like, that's what you do when you're thinking that's the small market way. So kudos for the Knicks doing those type of moves, man. And it's funny, when I saw Austin Rivers playing, I underestimated how much basic basketball players we need, man. Yeah. And not to call him basic, but when you look at how our guards were struggling to make basic plays, it was refreshing. Like, we saw how you saw what happened when Alec Burks went down. Julius Randle had to do a lot of the playmaking. He had 9 turnovers in that Cavs game, and I truly believe that half of those turnovers had to do with just the fact that his usage rate had to be so high. He was just expected to do everything for the entire game. Played 44 minutes, couldn't take a play off. I think he got mentally fatigued. You know what I mean? So, like, when you can just say, you know what, Julius, you don't gotta do nothing. Sit down. We got this. Or just go in the corner. Let me run the play. Like, that's something that we haven't, had. And now, he saw it when Austin Rivers was in the game, because there was a point in the game when Randle went to the bench. We had Austin Rivers in the game. We had IQ in the game. And I'm looking and I don't get that nervous feeling. You know the nervous feeling? Oh, no. Where's the point? Can they hold on? Right? Austin Rivers is driving the kick in. IQ was driving the kick in. And Julius Randle gets to take a breather. That's something that I underestimated when we signed Austin Rivers here in the first place.
Yo, did you see him shake? Did you see him shake my boy to his
Yes. Out his boots.
Yes.
Ooh. Yes, I saw it.
My man was saying, my leg.
His boots are still there right now.
Shoot.
Exactly, man. Between him shaking homie out of his boots and IQ hitting you with the floaters everywhere, I'm like, oh, we got guards again? We got guards in the garden again? Let's go.
So the game is tight, man.
Yeah, man.
It's tight.
Yeah, man. Oh man. Let me circle back to something, because I forgot to talk about something when we mentioned Julius Randle, right? Because this has also been a hot topic. Me and CP had like a 3-hour debate on the show. Because I was alluding to this. We talked about how do we think Julius Randle can keep up this production, right? The Knicks drafted Obi Toppin, and Ryan, we kind of talked about this last week.
Yeah.
Knicks drafted Obi Toppin to be the man. Obi Toppin has only played one preseason game, or he had one good preseason
one
game.
regular season.
One good preseason game. A couple of games where he showed some flashes, because he was passing, and then one game in the regular season, and now he's out. And now a lot of people are saying, we should move Randle while his stock is high. Where do you stand on the trading Randle decision? Are you trying to trade him as soon as the deadline hit? Are you trying to extend him? How do you feel about it? Is it too early for you? How do you feel about this?
I want to keep him. I want to keep him because I'm looking at how Denver used Porter Jr. When they had the veteran power forward. They had Grant on the other side, and then they had Porter Jr. biting at the bit to get in the game. I'd like to use Obi in that same way. Keep so that whenever Mitchell Robinson is out or even Nerlens Noel, you can still. I at the beginning of the season thought it was ludicrous to try to play Randle with Obi, but the way Randle is playing defense now, I think is more feasible because that was my problem because of the defense.
That's a good point.
So the way Randle is playing on defense, I can live with putting them out there, for stretches. So now you don't have it. I mean, I want Obi, and this is the thing about Thibodeau. He's not going to let you on the court unless you're 100%. So, you might be 80%. He's not going to let you play. You got to be 100%. So when Obi plays and he's 100%, and he's going to give him his minutes. I think he'll get 15, 20 minutes a game, 24 minutes a game. That gives him a chance to develop properly. And then he has incentive to try to beat Randle out. But you can't. I'm just saying like this. It's like you bought a car and nobody wanted it. It was an old Benz. And then all of a sudden you got it fixed up. You put new parts in it. You got the paint job. Now everybody wants to buy it from you. And you like, Dad, I put this car together, man. I think I want to hold on to it. And so that's what I'm thinking with Randle. Tibbs has turned this man into Frankenstein, man. I mean, he's the mad scientist that got this guy.
It's Fizz's fault, man.
Yeah, he got this guy to all-star level. So I'm saying you gotta get a guy to all-star level and then trade an all-star. I mean, how's that gonna look? I don't think so. I'm gonna keep, and I'm not extending him yet. I'm gonna wait. I want the whole next year. Exercise the option, give him his $20 million, and then let's see what happens at the end of next year. That's what I want. That's what I
said. That's exactly what I said.
Jared, that's why I like you, man. You're smart.
That's what I like. The argument was ship him out, right? Just ship him out now because we came here to get Obi and we want to give Obi his run. But I'm just like, we've seen one preseason game of Obi.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Let the man prove himself. Like, I know he's projected to be, and I have faith in Obi. I was going on and on about Obi when he's coming here, so I feel like he'll be fine. But that's still a feeling. I still have to see it.
Right.
Like, to me, at this point, right, we've always complained that Randle has empty stats and doesn't make anybody better. Now he's actually making players around him better. And you want to trade him immediately? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
See, the whole trading scenario had to do with him playing exactly as he played last year.
Right.
That was the trading scenario. So if he was going to be turning the ball over and not passing, if he was going to be taking the ball out of people's hands, if he was going to be forcing bad shots and not playing defense, now I'm saying, okay, what can I get for him? But you got a guy that's playing really good defense right now. He's seeing the floor. He's averaging, what is it, 8 assists a game? 7, 8? Something like that?
7.
No, you don't trade him. You're talking about all-star level guy right now. So let me ask you this. Just say you have Eastern Conference power forward all-star on your team and you want to trade him. What are you going to get for him? What do you want for him?
That's the next question.
What do you want
That's
for him?
the next question.
You got to get a boatload for him. So unless you're giving me your 2021 top 10 first, you're giving me, some young player. All right, we could talk then. But other than that, no, I'm not trading.
I agree with you because that's the other argument. The other argument is, well, I'm gonna get a pick. We can get a pick for him. I'm like, all right, you'll get a pick for Julius Randle, right? Cool. Are you getting a pick in the 15 range that's going to average 20 points, 10 rebounds?
Right.
And let's say his assists go down. 6 assists.
Right.
Are you going to get that from your 15 pick?
35% free.
I don't like. To me, it's like it really depends on a few things. It depends if what Obi shows you. It depends on what the haul is. Can we get something of close to the same production at another position of need, meaning point guard or wing? I
don't want to trade him, man. I don't want to trade him. We got Alec Burks in the wing right now behind RJ.
Right.
We don't really need a wing. I like Alec Burks. I mean, we got Alec Burks. We got IQ. We got Austin Rivers. I think we're pretty good at the guard right now. And so we're good. So, I mean, you get another guy that's as good as them, then they're going to be fighting for playing time, might get ugly. I think you got a good situation. I mean, to me, if you're going to get something for him, you got to be getting you getting a draft pick that's going to be Luka or something like that.
Exactly.
Get a draft pick
Fade for
Trae Young, somebody that's going to bring you getting Cade Cunningham and so you're getting something. You got to be getting Green. Give me Green and Suggs, right? Give my cousin Green. He ain't rich, but
give your cousin Green.
Suggs, and then I'm in the future like a 2020 because you're talking about a guy that's burgeoning all-star is age 26 right now. That's what you're talking about. So
yeah,
you can't just do that. No. If he's playing like he was last year, like I said, if he wasn't passing, if he wasn't playing D, I mean, I was blown away. Yesterday, I'm stupid. Like I get crazy about the dumbest things. So when I saw him consistently show double team and sprint back to his man, I was like, no, keep this kid. No, that's it.
How many times did we watch him last year just be like, just throw his hands up? He's like, I'll just jog back to
take the ball out. Like I was
the
like,
fake defense, hand up. Like what? He's celebrating when he shut down Sabonis. He's flexing. I was like, yes, yes.
That I was literally jumping up and down when he stole that ball and dunked it. I was jumping up and down. I could not believe. I said, "Is that Julius?" And that's what the thing. I've been saying that since the preseason. I keep telling, "Is that Julius Randle?"
That's that. I look like him. He's
Is that him?
His braids are nicer.
That guy just passed the ball. Is that Julius Randle?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? There is some things that we need to work on, though. There is some things that we need to work on, but we're moving in the right direction, right? Shout out to Tom Thibodeau. I got some stats for you. This is the Tom Thibodeau appreciation segment, right? I got some stats for you. Because so far we are, we're 3-3. I don't know, depending on when you listen to this episode, maybe we're up or down. Right? But
I'm gonna say if you listen to this episode, we're probably 4-3.
There you go. There it is.
Already when it gets Atlanta.
Exactly. But
I did want to get some thoughts though.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because of the Julius Randle trade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of a person where I'm trying to go along the lines of I'm trying to get a superstar player here or potential superstar player here. So would I keep Julius Randle? If the circumstances say keep him, yeah, I would keep him. As in regards to the Knicks' record at the All-Star break, if the Knicks actually look like they're going to be a playoff team, yeah, I would keep him for the season and then extend him next season. Of course, I would do that. And then again, if the Knicks are showing that, like for example, Toppin looks like he's not ready, then yeah, I would keep Randle for another season and keep him for the rest of the season and extend next season as well. My thing is, I'm not going to be the type of person to be like hell bent, okay, we're keeping him this season no matter what. Because say, for example, things start to go bad for the Knicks. And say, for example, the Knicks start to fall off. Despite the fact Julius Randle is playing well. Which, I mean, to be real about it, if you're looking at the Knicks' current history or recent history, it's a possibility that the Knicks might fall off. I'm not predicting that they will, but I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, if that's the case, and I see like, say for example, the Knicks are like way under 500, they start falling off or whatever the case may be, then in that case, I'm like, I'm trying to build assets and I'm trying to trade Randle because Randle's our best piece and see what we can get back in return for him. And then hopefully we're hoping that wherever we land in the draft status, it'll be a top 3 pick or so, and you can get one of these game-changing guys from the
If we get a top 3 pick, that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
I know, but what I'm trying to say is I'm keeping my options open. I'm not just hell bent on keeping Randle. It's gonna definitely depend on how the Knicks are doing this season and Toppin's progress. You know, so that's all I'm saying. I'm keeping options open. But of course, if the Knicks continue playing the way they're playing at the moment, yeah, I'm gonna keep Randle and extend him next season because like at that point it's like what sense does it really make? Like the Knicks can actually change the culture for once. You know, make the playoffs something they haven't done since the 2012-2013 season. So it's like if you have that, you know, on the horizon, it's like it doesn't make sense to trade Randle at that point. You might as well just keep him and just ride the wave and see how far the Knicks can go.
So I agree with Ryan in the sense what he's saying. My assumption is that they're not going to fade because of Thibodeau, but based on our history, I can understand what Ryan's saying. So we get to the playoff and all of a sudden, you know, they start wilting like a leaf, but Randle is still strong. You're gonna trade him. Now you're kind of wasting him, right? But if we're looking like a playoff team and we're developing nicely, you know, and I'm keeping him because now he's part of the development. He's part of that.
That's something that has to be talked about more.
Yeah. So I'll keep him at that point. But I agree with what Ryan is saying. I guess I just made the assumption we're not going to fold like we have in the past because we're not dependent on one player. And I think we got a situation where we got several guys that can step up. And if everybody's bought in, I think we'll be in good shape.
Yeah, that's the man. And my brain is working, and I'm just like, all right, we have Alec Burks who can get buckets on his own. Yep. We have Austin Rivers who can play that role as well. For the first time in a long time, we have multiple people who could kind of create their own shot and create for others.
That's right.
We have 4. Yeah. We have 4 actually. Now I think about it. We have IQ, Austin Rivers, Alec Burks, who he's probably the end of that list, but still can to some degree, and Julius Randle.
Yeah,
and it's crazy to think, when's the last time we had 4 potential playmakers on the team?
Right.
Never. I can't think of when we've had that in the last, I don't know how many years.
Why? Because we're always looking for one star to save us.
Yeah.
So if KP gets hurt, if Melo gets hurt, we're in trouble. Now we got Randle, we got Obi, we got several guys. We got Burks, we got RJ, we got Austin, we got IQ, we got several guys that on any given night can drop 30. It's several of them. So that's a much more balanced team. So the likelihood, I could agree. I mean, like I said, it's like a PTSD, you know, with the Knicks. You know,
that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. I don't want to believe what's in my face.
Yes, exactly. I can understand where Ryan's coming from, but if we don't fade, in fact, I'm just basically parroting what he said. So if we don't fade, we keeping them, and then we're gonna go to next year. We're not gonna do anything. We're gonna keep that $20 million, Let him overplay his contract, and then we'll see what we do at the end of next season.
Yeah,
that's what I'm with that. Extend him for the year, unless some crazy deal comes. A crazy deal has to come at the trade deadline. Crazy. Like where I'm moving him because, like I said before, it's for the first time he's making others around him better, and he's actually helping the development around him. So like, all right, cool. You saw he's passing, knocks the ball in the corner 3. You know, we need the game simpler.
He threw it to Frank a couple of times, man. That's what I said. This guy's definitely changed. He threw it out to Frank. I'm like, dang, man. He's trusting Frank to shoot that 3.
I still think he's shaking on Frank, even though he passed it. There's a picture of him of Frank shooting it. And Julius Randle's face going, no. Frank nails the shot, though. But I don't think he wants to shoot.
Oh, gosh.
Fritz, find that picture and put this on the...
but that's just, to me, it's a testament that he's trusting his teammates, though. That's what it is.
Right. And yeah, he's definitely trusted his teammates. And shout out to Tom Thibodeau. I'm gonna read some Tom Thibodeau stats because it just seems like everything, not everything, but there's a lot of things that Tom Thibodeau set out to do that he's done, right? So right now, believe it or not, guys, we're 3-3, but we're last in scoring.
Are we?
Yes.
I think they're number 1 in 3-point defense, though.
Yeah, we're right now. It's slipped. Yeah, we're in the tops in 3-point defense for sure. We're in the tops.
Yeah, because I think I think they're like. I checked today. They're number 9 overall in defense.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. 9 overall in defense. 9th in loose balls recovered defensively. 4th in defensive rating. 10th in contested shots.
Yeah.
Like Tom Thibodeau set out to play defense. And he has, right? Yeah. Tom Thibodeau set out to shoot corner 3s, and a lot of our shots are coming from that corner 3. So a lot of what Tom has planned has gone into fruition.
Yep.
And kudos to that guy, man. Tom, best coach since Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Woodson.
Yeah,
that's right.
And my thing about Tom Thibodeau too is that this is how you know this guy is a New York Knicks guy, because he was an assistant coach with the Knicks in the 90s, especially those years when the Knicks had those strong defensive teams. And if you ask any Knicks fan, really, would you rather a team that just gets buckets and don't play no defense, or would you rather a team that they might struggle a bit on offense but they play hard defense? What would you choose as a Knicks fan?
Defense for sure. You remember when they was calling for D'Antoni, said because he wouldn't preach defense.
Yeah,
exactly.
Now we're
and they weren't as bad as we were after him, but they were calling for that. They were calling for D'Antoni because, and they were saying a lot of players wouldn't come because he didn't preach defense at the time. I remember they was like, well, he players that want somebody that plays both sides of the ball, or whatever. But no, New York is a defensive town. They love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm curious to see what this team is going to look like once we have our offensive players back. Because right now we're last in offense, but we haven't had IQ. We only had him for a half a quarter.
That's right. That's right.
Alec Burks and Julius Randle, both of those guys were the top 2 3-point shooters in the league at the time.
How many
Alec
games
Burks right now is the best 3-point shooter in the league.
How many games has Burks missed? Has he missed 3 games or 4 games?
I think he missed. I felt like he missed 4 games.
Okay, he missed this whole road trip.
Yeah, he missed his whole road trip.
Okay.
And right now he's 66% from 3. I totally don't expect that to last.
He's averaging like 20, right? He's averaging like 20.
He's averaging 20 points.
Yeah, 20. Yeah.
Yeah. So
man, between Alec Burks coming back, IQ, taking L for Payton's job eventually.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But I just want to get the most out of EP that we can. Get the most out of him while he's playing like this. Keep.
Yeah.
So you would have him off the bench first guard off the bench.
Yeah, I have IQ off the bench first guard. I like him and Rivers together. But you bring IQ off the bench for now. It's not. I mean, this guy's not. What is he? 21. He's got his whole career. So while we are now at this beginning mode. I'm just going to push EP as much as I can. EP 26. I just looked, he's going to be 27 in February. Push this guy. You know, if we, at the end of the season, when we get to this playoffs, we're going to see what happens. I get the feeling in the playoffs, IQ is going to become Donovan Mitchell in terms of he's going to be, you know, he's going to have them going there just like RJ, and he's going to show up. So then we'll feel better about letting EP walk next year if we need to. But right now, I want to push with EP. He's the vet. He's doing very well. He's proven that he wants to play, that he needs the minutes. So let's just ride him, man. Let's ride him while we can.
All right.
You can't trade him. You can't
I still want IQ to start. I'll have Elf on the shelf. I'll put him on the bench. I'll put Elf on the bench.
I agree with Raw, because the way I see it, I'm like, look, even if Payton starts games, that doesn't mean that he has to end games as well. You can keep IQ in there at the end of the game if need be.
Right. If he starts to show up, you know, and I say IQ's the type of guy, he's got that type of jump shot. Like, there's going to be a game he's going to get 6 3-pointers. There's going to be a game like that. And so you let those flashes come, and then in the playoffs he starts to show out. If we get that far, he starts to show out in big games. Now you have no problem. Now you let EP walk, because now you got your guy. You know, so and then we still got Rivers. We got team options on his next 2 seasons.
Yeah. Finesse.
Yeah, yeah.
Finesse.
So I'm good with that, man. No, right now, Ryan EP. I like what he's bringing. It's all about, you know, for all of us. I mean, I said not everybody, but for us three and a lot of Knicks fans, it's about, can we win? Are we gonna win? And if EP's helping me win, play that boy. Just play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I don't expect it. I know what the shooting is going to do. As long as it gets to the hole and finish those layups, then maybe that'll open things up. But I've just seen so many games where everybody's just going zone on us, man. Everybody's going zone on us, and it's just like 8 people in the paint, and he's trying to lob to Mitch over 8 people's hands, and I'm just like, is this going to be life?
You see that dumb turnover he did because he was trying to force it to Randle. And he had, I forgot who it was. Somebody was on the other side of the floor. He didn't even look. He was trying to get around, and they got a turnover. And Thibodeau was pissed. He called timeout right away because that was a dumb pass. But that's the only time he did it yesterday. So I was like, okay.
30% of his passes are to Randle.
Wait, hold up. This season it has increased.
Yeah.
It's 41.8% of his passes goes to Randle so far this season.
Yeah, we actually looked at the numbers before the episode. It's 41%.
Oh gosh.
Absolutely, man. Get IQ in the game, man. He's gonna pass it to everybody, man.
I'm telling you, I ain't gonna for Calipari's, but we got one in this kid. We
got one, man.
Yeah.
We got
I love everything about his game. That demeanor. He has this mean. He got them eyebrows that look like. He's like a baby brow, man. He got that, and then he's a gamer, man. That float game, and he hasn't even broken out the jump shot, but the floater game is tight, man. It's tight. It's so
definitely. And you know what? I'm gonna talk about somebody else that has not gotten love as of yet. This guy, he started the season in the hot seat. There was all these stories about him not taking practice seriously, missing practices in Vegas, and not practicing hard enough. Blah, blah, blah. Preseason starts, doesn't start the first few preseason games. Game starts, he's the starting center of the New York Knicks. All of a sudden, Tom Thibodeau does a 180, praising this man night and day. Watch. He's putting in the work, night and day. And it's funny because at the end of this video, Tom Thibodeau ends the video by going, "It's coming. Wait and see."
That's right.
Wait. It's coming. Is Sham God Mitch coming? Is 3-point Mitch coming? Are we going to see AD Mitch coming? Is the 3 and 23 going to be represented in the game?
You know, I don't want to say like who he'll be like, because I just want to let him get the room to blossom to whatever he's going to be. So
I gotta amp it up.
Yeah, because I'm just saying, like, Thibodeau was playing, like he said he's been saying it the whole summer. I like competition. So he wanted to make sure Mitch was going to show up and bring his A game. And Mitch was more like, hey, we're going to see. Like, we're going to see,
yeah.
And so it's obvious to me that Mitch is far better than Nerlens Noel. And I'm not saying Nerlens Noel can't play. If Nerlens Noel can play,
he can.
But Mitch is special, man. So, like I said, he's the type of cat that'll ignite you, man. So I don't want to say what he can do. I believe he's going to end up being able to handle the rock a lot more, and I can see him getting a 15-footer. As far as 3-point shot, that's good. You give that guy a 3-point shot, you're talking Joker, man. So I don't know. I don't want to say that about him. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm saying if he can handle a little bit, and if he could get that little foul line jumper, he's gonna be all-star level right there. But I don't want to say more because but the sky's the limit. He's got the gift, the talent is there. I just don't know where it's gonna end up.
Do you want to say something, Ryan, before I go off the handle? Because me.
Well, I do think that because Mitch has definitely shown that he can shoot the three if he watches video clips or whatever the case may be, and I think that there's gonna come a time where he's going to have to unleash that skill in the game. Like, there's only so many shots you can take during practice or whatever the case may be and not shoot that shot in game. But I think at the moment, like, you just keep things simple for Mitch. Just rebound the ball, defend the paint, etc. Lobs, putbacks, whatever the case may be, and then once you go from there. Once he gets his, even though I think Mitch is pretty confident at the moment, he doesn't seem like a guy that struggles for confidence. But like, once you get him, I guess, to a point where he does his job almost to perfection, then I think that's when you start adding little things like, okay, now we're going to allow you to take, a couple threes a game, step out 1 or 2 times a game, shoot the three or whatever the case may be. So I think at the moment we're just seeing basic Mitch. As we go on down the line, we're going to see things, more things add to his game. And
basic Mitch, like basic cable. You don't get the movie channels yet. Showtime has been added. I feel
exactly.
Child Lock is still on it. I got it. Basic Mitch.
Exactly. Basic Mitch at the moment. Yes, basic Mitch.
Because if he starts shooting a three at some point in his career, let's say between now and next year this time, he starts shooting a three, and let's say he hits 2 out of 3, he gonna get confident.
Yeah.
And you let him get confident with him. I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's when the money gets crazy. Yeah. Because when you start, this is why I said lock him up early. This is why Trump on my Trump stuff, lock him up. Like, because if he starts hitting the 3 early,
we gonna have to pay Rudy Gobert money.
A center that can block threes and shoot threes
and run the floor.
That's gonna be a lot. That's gonna be a lot. You know what, too? Man, Fizz could never. You know what, too? It was always the plan, right? Fizz was always talking about, we just want him to get the basics first.
Yeah,
We just want him to set screens, rebounds, not foul out. This season, it seems like he's doing it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he fell off on the screens a little bit. For the most part, though, I feel like the screens are better. That game, the last game, the timing on the offensive tip-ins are just right. It's like it's all coming together. He hasn't been fouling out lately,
right?
Even the big guys, you don't really see him picking up the fouls at the same rate when he's playing the big guys.
And you know what it is? Like, I mean, Miles Turner is good, man, and Miles Turner could not keep him off the board.
No.
Miles Turner could not keep him off the board. So, I mean, like I said, in Julius, I've always respected the strength that he possesses as a player, the strength, the physical brute strength. And the problem, of course, is that he's always going at 2 players, but now he's passing. But if you get Julius Randle one-on-one against anybody under the low block, trying to stop him from, it's over. That's game. He's going to kill you. So
it's a wrap.
This is a wrap right there. So if Mitchell Robinson needs 2 people to stop him from getting on the offensive glass, that's just going to let Julius Randle go crazy. So and then RJ rebounds. One thing about Bullock, he might be, coming up short on the J, but he rebounds. He rebounds and
He rebounds. He plays defense.
So
Yeah.
you get that. And I'm saying we got something going here, man. We got something going here.
Yeah, and I want to add one more thing about Miles Turner too. The reason why Miles Turner couldn't keep Mitch off the glass because that man stayed behind the 3-point line. That's why.
That's true too. That's true too. That's right.
Yeah.
No, see, it's the type of 3-pointers too. It's the type of 3-pointers. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The type of 3-pointers I'm talking about are when the offense is going, the big sags off for the entry pass. You know, if the big is sagging off because he's trying to pass to a guard or another power forward for a pass, I'm just like, pull up.
Yep.
Pull up. Take that shot. That's all. That's it.
Yeah.
Not like dribble up, pull up through. Nah.
But Indiana's committed to shooting a lot of threes this year. Miles Turner took 9. He took 9 threes last night. He took 9. Yeah.
Which to me, I'm sorry. That's wild for a big man. I'm
he
sorry.
Took 9 threes last night, man.
To me, it's like, okay, even if you're a good 3-point shooter, it's like, I can understand taking as a big man 3-4 threes. That's cool. But 9 threes, I mean, you're taking them away from the paint where, if the shot isn't missing, he can get an offensive rebound or whatever the case may be. It's like if you keep a big man like that outside to take so many threes, that just gives the opponent like nobody's blocking out. It's just easy pick.
And like you said, that's why Mitch went nuts.
Yeah.
That's why Mitch went nuts last night.
Yeah. You know what else is too? Miles Turner was Elfrid Payton. I know I talk smack about that guy, but he was breaking down the defense a lot that last game. And Miles Turner had to help a lot. And when Miles Turner was helping, Mitch was like, offensive tipping.
Yeah.
Like, you're not paying attention to me now? That's easy pickings. It's like, But yeah, shout out to Mitch, man. Shout out to Mitch for that. So I'm gonna say this word real quick. The recent success of the New York Knicks. Raw talking about he sees this going on and continuing.
All right.
Are the Knicks in line?
Don't say it.
To improve enough to make
the P word. Okay.
Hell, I'm gonna say it. Knicks making the playoffs. I'm saying it.
My man Ryan.
They're making the playoffs. I'm saying it.
I'm saying like this. I'm looking at. Okay, so
you wanted to trade Julius. I'm sorry. You wanted to trade him, and now he's making the playoffs. Pick a side.
I know.
No, he said if they're in the playoff hunt at the trade deadline, he's keeping Julius.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I'm looking at the playoff teams from last year. Okay, the AFC won 33 games last year. The 7th seed won 35, and the 6th seed won 43. Let's assume I think it's going to be similar. So I already say Knicks got 31. Okay, I'm thinking 31.
I'm hyperventilating.
Which 31 is the 82 game equivalent of 35. Now last year they only played 72 games. So I'm putting it this way. Plus, am I correct? Were they going 10 teams this year?
Yeah, they're going 10 for the play-in.
Yeah, they're going 10 teams. Okay, so
for the play-in.
For the play-in. Okay, so at 31, they're in the play-in for sure. Now, if they I'm saying that I'm going to say it like this statistically. I'm a numbers guy, so it's highly likely that they exceed 31. So if they exceed 31, it's possible for them to get the HC. It's possible.
You know what? I've been in this situation year after year.
Here comes the PTSD.
Ryan, we had this conversation on air for the past, since 2016 when we first started the KOT show. We do the same thing. Well, the East is weak. You know.
Yo, I still remember when we had so much faith that 2016 season because we had Derrick Rose, Melo, we had Joakim Noah, everybody was like, yeah, Knicks definitely made the playoffs. And then what happens? Knicks bottom out and end up not making the playoffs.
That was the stupidest season, though. How you gonna have Derrick Rose and don't run pick and roll? Come on, man. I was so pissed. I mean, it's like, again, let's go back. You got a Benz and you keeping it in the garage. You never driving it. I mean,
yeah, man. You doing the speed limit.
You got to run pick and roll, man. You got to do, I mean, come on. And then Noah, and you're not running pick and roll?
Yeah.
Oh.
Plus Noah was too lit and punching coaches and
yeah,
taking
man,
steroids.
You know what?
Remember check his piss, Ryan?
Check his piss.
They should have been 50% pick and roll. They should have been 50% pick and roll. Look, D Rose was not, vintage D Rose, but even at that, he's still better than like 80% of the guards in the league at that point. He still averaged 18, and they had crap for offense. So you give that cat pick and roll, man. Like somebody was trying to tell me that that Dennis Smith Jr. is like Derrick Rose. I said, you got to stop, man. Come on.
Stop.
Where's
the bro button?
No.
I was like,
that's a bro moment.
You got to stop. Because you know what? And no disrespect to, if you're listening out there, I'm not trying to kill you, but I'm just saying, Derrick Rose is one of the best finishers I've ever seen in pro basketball as far as finishing at the hole.
Yeah.
It's a gift that you cannot teach the way he finishes. And so that year, I was frustrated. But I was like, I can't believe they have Derrick Rose on the team and they're not running predominantly pick and roll. It should have been predominantly pick and roll. Him and Melo, predominantly pick and roll. It's crazy.
Yeah. It was crazy, but we were still stuck on that triangle offense.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense. And it seemed like there was trepidation in the team. Brandon Jennings was doing what he wanted to do. He left early.
Yeah.
It was wild.
You need to live early. He was out of control, man.
Yeah, he was out of I loved and hated Brandon Jennings that year, man. He was my favorite player and the guy who I wanted to pull my hair out the most.
Worst thing in the world when he scored 55. That was the worst thing ever. Because after that, he thought he could just do anything he wanted, and he couldn't.
Yeah. It was weird. It was rough.
But this is different because we got structure this year, JL. We got structure. We do.
Yes, we do.
That's the thing. We have structure for the first time, and I actually believe it in my head more to this year. But I'm not going to say it.
Yeah,
you got me the first 4 years. I'm not saying the P word.
I respect.
The only P word I'm saying is playing.
I just say 31 wins wherever that guy is. That's all I'm saying. 31 wins. I've been saying that. I'm sticking with it. But I definitely respect Ryan. He just called it out. Go ahead, Ryan. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. I'm just trying to speak to it. I'm just trying to speak it into existence at this point.
Do that.
Because I'm like, look, at this moment, the Knicks are 3-3. If they continue on this pace, it'll be 36-36, and that's definitely playoffs. So I mean, hey,
you're right statistically. I don't care if the numbers say it. I don't care. I gotta see it. I gotta see it. No, you're not gonna have me on tape.
Really last in offense? What, last in point score? Is that what it is?
Yeah, we're last.
Yeah.
I was looking at the defensive numbers. I didn't pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Defense, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
If we just get some offense, if you get something from IQ, Austin Rivers, and those guys, you just hope that we like middle of the road offense. You know what I'm saying? Like 15, 17.
Yep.
You keep that pace, 15, 17 offense, fourth in defense.
You'll be good. Be good.
Be good.
Chicago Bulls, baby. Chicago Bulls.
Man. Then all season we just getting scores and upgrading talent, or somebody takes a step and we off to the races, man.
Yeah.
Back to respectability. Finally.
Facts.
Man, I'm really crazy. I'm excited about next year already. Because I just want to see them bring back this core group with Tom Thibodeau and they now used to each other. Man. Because like last year, right, I took Mike Miller's record, 17-27, and I did over 82 games. If he had started the season as the coach, right, 33 games. Now we definitely would have been in the bubble, with
the same thing.
Yeah, so and now we got a better coach with better talent and more structure. I think we're gonna be all right.
I thought the exact same thing. I said it on Twitter, Raw. I said last year, if Mike coached this team from the beginning, we would have been on a 30-win pace. We have a better coach this year, so we should be better than that. But even with that said, I'm still have PTSD.
I'm trying. That's why I say 31 wins. I mean, I very much respect, and I am so proud of Ryan for calling it, but I can't do it. I got to say 31 wins. I'll say. And I'll be glad to just spit in Vegas' face. We're the 22 and a half punks.
Exactly. with my
Yeah.
money.
Exactly.
All right, now it's time for the most favorite part of the show. The Ooh Picks. The Ooh Picks are the best plays of the week. There's a lot of basketball to talk about, a lot of great plays, and we're going to talk about it in detail for the people. All right. Who wants to go first with the Ooh Pick?
Okay, I'll go first then.
You going first? All right, cool.
Yeah. My Ooh Picks are gonna be praising the defense.
Okay.
So my first Ooh Pick goes to Nerlens Noel against the Toronto Raptors. I don't know if you remember this play, but Van Vliet drove it to the lane. He passed the ball off to Len.
Mm-hmm.
Len went up 2 hands for the dunk, but Nerlens Noel was standing right there waiting for him at the rim. Rejected his dunk. And he did not get that in.
All right. Solid ooh right there to start.
Yeah. And my last Ooh Pick goes to Money Making Mitch.
Oh, snap. Hold on, let me hit the button. Go ahead.
Yeah, so against the Pacers, the Knicks are holding on to a slim lead
my Ooh Pick, that's
towards the
fine,
end of the
though.
game. Huh?
To my Ooh Pick, that's fine though.
Oh, my fault.
Go ahead.
All right, so the Knicks will hold on to a slight lead late in the game. Brogdon went off a pick and roll to shoot the 3, and you already know who was there to block the 3. Money Making Mitch, and it turned into a fast break. Payton had the ball, found Austin Rivers on the wing. Austin Rivers laid it up, and that pretty much sealed the game for the Knicks against the Pacers.
All right. Solid Ooh Picks there. I like it.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Rugged and Raw, what you got?
Got one Ooh Pick. It was last night. Austin Rivers, a.k.a. Butter, did the head and shoulder fake on Victor Oladipo and had homie stumbling back like he had too much wine.
All right, shook him out his boots.
Shook him out his dock strap, boy.
All right. Do I have an Ooh Pick? Because he took my Ooh Pick. You know what? I'm gonna give RJ a Ooh in general. I'm not even gonna go with a specific play. I'm just go in general. Because RJ was getting mad heat. This is the bruh Ooh. All right? This is the bruh Ooh. If you know what a bruh pick is, I'm gonna explain it to you right now because I'm kind of doing a different thing. Bruh picks are usually the worst plays of the week or just something dumb that happens during the week that we highlight. Now, something dumb that happened this week is, I love my guy RJ, but he missed 21 straight 3-pointers this week.
Bruh.
Wasn't pretty. Hit 3 straight in Indiana the first game, but missed 21 straight. But when he played Indiana, the 3-point shot came back to life. I believe he hit 4 for 5. I'm going off memory. I believe he hit 4 for 5 from 3. And also stepped up in the clutch and hit clutch free throws to wrap up the game. He wanted to too. He's like, give me the ball. He knew he was going to get fouled on purpose. Stepped up and hit those clutch shots for the free throw line to end the games. And we all know last year, one of his keys to success was to hit those clutch free throws. And he did this year. For shout out to RJ Barrett for stepping up and doing what he does. That's my ooh slash bruh. All right. Any bruh picks from you guys?
I got one bruh.
Okay.
My bruh goes out to the Brooklyn Nets, who lost tonight, who paying $80 million to 2 players and lost tonight by 1 to the Washington Wizards. And right now they're in 9th place in the Eastern Conference.
Oh.
Which means they would make the play in.
Wait. If they're in 9th place and they just lost, does that mean that we have a better record?
The Knicks have a better record than the Brooklyn Nets.
Hit the button, ooh! Now, hopefully, by the time this airs, We didn't lose to the Atlanta Hawks.
We putting a lot on that game, boy.
A lot on the line. Oh, this might not age well. Or it could age great.
If Ryan stepped up and said the P word, I'm gonna step up and say we beating Atlanta.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Oh man. Any broad picks for you, Ryan?
Yeah, I got a few broad picks.
Broad man from the fifth floor.
Yes. My first broad pick goes to the Yes Network.
Ooh, the whole network.
Yeah, because the other I meant to do this. I meant to have this broad pick on last week's episode, and I forgot.
Residual, bro. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm bringing it back for this episode. So the Yes Network posted a tweet after the Nets played their first 3 games, and said that the Nets are averaging more views for their games than Knicks games. But here is the fact that they threw in.
Yeah, I peeped the game.
Then the Nets have 2 nationally televised games while the Knicks only played on local TV.
What the?
So what was the point of even posting that tweet to begin with? Which lets me know that the Knicks are living rent free in the Nets' head all day.
Brian, I wouldn't call that a bruh. You know what I would call that? Whose man's is this? You telling me you comparing a national game to a local TV network and saying, what the hell? What kind of apples to bananas are you comparing?
That's what you call reaching.
Exactly. Reaching heavy.
Pulling a shoulder reaching.
Trying to reach it.
Wow.
Reaching heavy.
All right.
My next bro pick. I don't want to pick on him because he's shown improvement this season.
Oh boy, I'm about to say something crazy.
But Kevin Knox.
Raw, get him! Raw, get him!
You're not gonna hurt my boy.
He has 2 bros. I'm sorry.
Oh, you gonna bust up going on the nuts?
I busted shots, bro. You can't hear it, but you're gonna hear it later in the post. I busted shots.
The first bruh, well, actually, both of these bros were against the Cavs. The first bruh was when he was on the fast break. He spotted Mitch for the alley-oop.
Oh, I know what this
Threw
is.
up the pass. It skied way over Mitch out of bounds.
Yeah.
That's the first bruh.
I remember that.
And the second bruh against the Cavs was when my guy was guarding Garland. He was not ready for Garland. Garland had him on a string. He had the handle on a string.
Oh man.
He made Knox go on bended knee.
Come down on me.
So that's my other bro. That's my other bro right there. So Knox, I like the way Knox has been playing this season, but yeah, he had 2 bros in that game against the Cavs.
Knox has been playing well.
Yeah, Knox has been playing well.
Defensively, he's been good.
You stepped it up. You definitely stepped it up.
Yes. And my last bro pick is college football.
College football? All of college football?
Yes. No. Just a game of college football. one of the bowl games. The Armed Forces Bowl. Tulsa versus Mississippi State. I don't know because it's been plastered all over ESPN, but they broke out into a huge fight. At the end of the game, everybody was going wild. There was number 7 on Tulsa. He was fighting the whole team by himself.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, he was fighting like the whole team. My guy even got stomped out by somebody on Mississippi State, and the dude ran after he stomped on him. I'm just like, it was just a whole bunch of just fuckery. I don't know what else to call it. and yeah, that was a terrible sight to see. So yeah, that's my last bro pick right there.
Oh man. I only got one bro pick. Hold on. Well, shout out to Wild West first of all. All right. CP told me that World Wide West was somewhere screaming at a ref because they was missing some stupid calls versus that Knicks Indiana game. Now, I didn't see that per se, but I did see a stupid call that was missed
I saw a
or
couple of them.
made.
Yeah.
So my bruh pick goes to the ref who called out of bounds on Austin Rivers for doing the little head fake and caused us a turnover. Because if you watch the replay, Austin's foot didn't go anywhere close to the vicinity of the out of bounds line. But somehow, some way, the refs saw out of bounds. I don't know what happened. CP thinks the refs are taking prop bets and they had money in the game.
There were 3 refs in that game. The sister was the only good ref. The other 2, I don't know where they got those guys. They picked them up in an Irish bar somewhere.
Yeah.
Those guys, man.
Yeah, they found them at a local Foot Locker.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
They just grabbed them out Foot Locker and brought them in because
Exactly. So you got a job. All right. All right. Recession, we got it. Recession NBA, we get it. All right, cool. All right, that is our show, guys.
Fun, man. Fun.
Yeah, big fun. Good job, man. It's crazy. Yo, Raw said we was talking earlier. Raw said he's been watching us since he was in his studio years ago. I was like, oh man.
Yeah. Since y'all, it looked like y'all was in an apartment, man.
Yeah, we was in
Yeah.
Edson's little studio garage.
Yeah, it was cool, man. I was like,
sardine can.
Yo, because you know what? Because y'all are real Knicks fans, like not somebody that's being paid to trash them or somebody that's trying to get clicked. Somebody was really talking about the team.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me watch these guys, man, because at least they talking about the team. Because some of these guys, I don't know where they get them from, but they give them too big a platform and they ain't saying nothing.
Appreciate it. That's what's up. Some people don't know. People are like, oh, you from Knicks Fan TV. Nah, we doing KOT like a year before Knicks Fan TV came up.
Yeah.
So shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Thanks for coming through, man. I love your insight. I love your YouTube channel. Definitely subscribe to his channel, man. He always drops some gems for sure. All right. So let's wrap this up. Where can they find you, Raw?
Raw Hebrew Remnant on YouTube. Just Raw Hebrew Remnant. You'll find me right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best place to actually find me. And we are, I think, Raw Hebrew on Twitter.
Raw Hebrew on Twitter. All right, cool. We're gonna put that little Twitter tag right under the graphic right there under your name. Cool. All right. And you know where to find us. You can find us in a bunch of places. Shout out to Dash Radio for housing us. Right. You can also find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, all that noise. Also find us on YouTube, youtube.com/TheKOTShow. If you don't watch us on YouTube, are you dumb, man? Get these visuals with the audio. It's kind of cool. You got to see. Man, we spend time and money putting the visuals together. Go to YouTube and subscribe, right?
Subscribe.
Facts.
Hit that thumbs up button for your boys.
Yes, hit the thumbs up for the boy. Yes, do that too. Please do.
Yes.
Also follow us on all social media. That is the KOT Show on Twitter, the Nick of Time Show on Instagram and Facebook. And also, check the writers, man. Writers doing clap up to the writers, doing a good job, man. Shout out to Fred, shout out to Rob, shout out to Ken, shout out to Dave holding it down. Go to TheKOTShow.com and watch some real Knicks fans write about their ideas on our site. And get some merch while you're there.
Yes.
Get some Whose Mans Is This tees. All right? Get some Who Mans Is This tees. All right? Yes, shout out to my guy Alex who caught the Who Mans Is This tee. All right? Where can they find you, Ryan?
You'll find me on Instagram at Sir G is
Sir
chilling.
G is chilling.
And that's SIR. G is CHILLIN.
That is right.
Yes.
That is our show.
We out.
Peace.
New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.